Hello, welcome to my first video of 2025. I'm going to show you the making of this little artwork called Lemmie and Bug, my little lemon head character and their little ladybug friend. Using these watercolor paints. I got these off Marketplace. I've seen plenty of people using them across Instagram and other social medias, and I always thought they looked really pretty, but I never really looked into it. Stumbled upon it on Marketplace on Boxing Day, and they were mega cheap, so I ran out the house, ran down the road and picked them up. Yeah, this is the first time using them. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Sophie McPike and I'm an artist. I live in Melbourne, Australia. I live in a cute little nook of the world in between the ocean and the forest. And I have two beautiful rescue greyhounds after 10 years of fostering greyhounds. And yeah, I just live my sweet little life doing my silly little drawings and my silly little paintings in my little studio in my home. And I have a really lovely time in my sketchbook, playing with colours, playing with art supplies, being really scribbly and wibbly and soft and gentle and like talking about my thoughts and feelings, and also about silly stuff like colours. And you know, I host little monthly Scribble Brigade sessions where we do some live drawing together, and I have a cute little Patreon, which is my favourite little community ever on the internet that I've ever been in, and it's just been such a wonderful adventure. So the artwork that you're watching me make today is actually going to be the January 2025 rewards. So you get a double-sided mini print. On one side is the finished artwork, and on the other side, yeah, it's like a collage of sketchbook drawings and color swatches that I made like leading up to this artwork. And you also get this lovely little vinyl sticker, which is so cute. I'm very excited to be sending these goodies out to you. So make sure you're a patron of the Orange Bird tier anytime within January. So anyway, back to the artwork. Process wise, I didn't really have much of a plan. I started with like a vague plan where you can see that I sketched it out, but I ended up just like completely disregarding that entire sketch and doing something completely different. This is a little character, this little lemon head character. She's sort of been through a few evolves over the years. When she started, she was like a lot taller and longer, and then at one point she had a bajillion million eyelashes. So there's like all these different versions of her, but I do like drawing her, and really enjoyed playing with this character a bit more in the last 6 months or so. I did a washi tape line which featured her in a bunch of them, which is very fun. There's a video all about it here. So I wanted to play with her, do something a little bit more illustrative. My 2024, I feel like, was filled with a lot of landscapes, and I love landscapes, but I'm like primarily an illustrator. I love characters, I love making weird shapes, I love playing with rhythm and flow to create different illustrations and storytelling within illustrations. So I really want to honor that, and I really want to do a bit more of that this year. So we're starting 2025 off with that little wish and hope that I've been wanting to fulfill lately, with a little illustration, a little storytelling illustration. So I ended up calling her for now Lemmie, because she's like a lemon. But there are so many different names. There was a video a little bit ago where I was asking you all for help for names, and there was Lemonita, which I thought was really cute. All sorts of different lemon vibed names, but I'm going with Lemmie for now because it's easy to remember and it's a bit cute. And she has a little ladybug friend who is, I don't know, either her child, adopted or otherwise, or just like cute little friend. I don't know. I like to make illustrations that do have storytelling in it, but I don't necessarily like telling the whole story all the time. I really like to leave it up to the viewer sometimes, for them or for you to decide what the story is all about and make your own kind of lore around Lemmie and her ladybug baby friend. With this painting, I sort of just started out of nowhere. I did a wishy-washy pre-blobbinated background because it's my comfort zone, and I love the texture and like the glow, the underneath the glow and weird stuff that happens when you place down pre-blobbinated stuff on the piece of paper. And it's less scary. Sometimes facing a blank white piece of paper can be a little bit scary. So yeah, I like to pre-blob, and it just like releases the tension and the scariness. You've already done some weird stuff to the paper. You can only kind of go up from there. And I really like pre-blobbinating because it's a good way to make kind of happy accidents, happy mistakes, and you kind of come up with things that you wouldn't have otherwise come up with when you're staying in your lane too much. The paintbrush is, I think it's a Da Vinci, is that what it's called? A Da Vinci paintbrush. I'm not really sure where I got it, but it's good. It's great. I love these like fine tipped watercolor brushes because they can allow me to do really, really, really fine line details. And you can also like wash in or fill in larger spaces as well. So before I made this illustration, I was also looking at Paul Klee's work quite a bit. So he has like these cute little shapes and stuff in a lot of his artworks. So I thought that kind of related to a lot of the shapes that I like making as well. So it's a little bit of like a homage to Paul Klee smushed together in a big ball with my kind of my voice as well, I guess. And it was really nice to do and just play with all the colors. This watercolor paint was really lovely to paint with as well. It's so pigmented and rich, and it layers beautifully and it mixes beautifully. I really, really enjoyed using it. It has a bit of like a tacky, sticky, plastickiness to it as well. I honestly haven't done any research into this brand. But yeah, it felt like painting with gouache sometimes. It was like a mixture of gouache, watercolor, and acrylic paint in one thing, and it was very enjoyable. Very nice. When I started doing it and I noticed the shininess, the plasticky shininess of the dried paint, I was like, oh, I don't know, this is a bit weird. But I went forward and made this, and I really enjoy it. And I've painted with it a few times since. I really, really like it. Highly recommend. I would like to get some more colors. I want some like hot pinks, because I love mixing colors with hot pink. And pink is a difficult one to mix by yourself sometimes because it can get really dirty really easily. And maybe like a really lovely violet as well might be nice. Yeah. I love to work stream of consciously. I did do some sketchbook drawings in my sketchbook you may have seen earlier, and yeah, they all just kind of go stream of consciousnessly. I went into this knowing that I wanted to do something flower and garden related with some Paul Klee inspired slash Sophie McPike shapes, like all floating around together. So I had the feeling that I wanted to do that. It wasn't until the last minute that I decided to include little Lemmie and Ladybug. Just felt right. It just happened. It popped into my head and I was like, okay, that's where we're going with it. So in the sketchbook, I just felt like I needed to do a couple little scribbles to get where I wanted it to be, or at least like put me in the trajectory of something instead of it like just be floating in space, which is sometimes really fun. Sometimes I really like just floating in space, but other times I like a little bit of direction. But yeah, this is the final artwork. I think it's very fun and very cute, and I love the textures. I love the mixture of looseness and like more careful edges and careful shapes as well. And yeah, I hope you really like it too. And again, if you want this as a double-sided print and a vinyl sticker, you can sign up as an Orange Bird member to my Patreon during January to get these goodies in your letterbox. Okay, have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Tooroo!